What if a single voice could carry the weight of a lifetime? What if one moment could decide whether years of struggle mattered at all? The stage stands quiet, brighter than it should be. Lights fall gently, yet they feel heavy, pressing down on the man at the center. He does not look like a legend. He looks like someone who has waited his whole life for this one chance. Around him, the room holds its breath. Every seat is filled, but no one truly moves. This is not just another performance. This is the second step after a miracle, where expectations grow sharper and doubts return stronger. Some believe lightning never strikes twice. Others are waiting for it to fail. Simon Cowell sits forward now, not impressed, not unimpressed. Just watching. Still. Careful. For him, talent is measured in moments like this. When pressure exposes truth. The Filipino singer feels the silence before the sound. It reminds him of other silences. Empty rooms. Unanswered prayers. Nights when hope felt thinner than the walls around him. He carries more than nerves. He carries the quiet dreams of a small home far away. Of a family that believed when no one else did. Of a country watching through cracked screens and borrowed hope. This moment asks a dangerous question. Is belief enough when the world is waiting for proof? The audience sees a man. But they cannot see the years behind his eyes. They cannot hear the songs he sang when no one listened. They cannot feel the weight of expectations pressing against his chest. This stage does not care where he came from. It only demands truth. And truth is terrifying. As the second stretch, doubt and faith stand side by side. One whispering fear. The other whispering courage. Somewhere between those whispers, a decision forms. Not to impress. Not to compete. But to be honest. Because sometimes, the bravest thing a person can do is open their mouth. When the world is ready to judge. And in that fragile pause. Before a single note is born. Everything is about to change. Long before the bright lights and restless applause, life moved slowly in a small corner of the Philippines. The mornings arrived early, not with alarms, but with responsibility. The boy grew up in a home where walls were thin and dreams were thinner. Rain leaked through the roof during storms. Electricity came and went like a visitor who never stayed long. Music was not a luxury. It was a refuge. He sang while helping his family through long days. While walking barefoot on warm streets. While the world passed by, unaware that a voice was growing stronger in the quiet. There was no audience then. Only echoes. Only belief. His family never asked for greatness. They only hoped for stability, for safety, for a life without constant worry. Yet music kept finding him. In old radios. In distant celebrations. In memories passed down through generations. The songs carried history. They carried pain and pride. They carried voices of legends he would never meet but deeply respected. At night, when the house finally slept, he would sing softly. Not to wake anyone. Not to be heard. But to remind himself that hope was still alive. Rejection came often. Opportunities were rare. And each closed door taught him patience. There were days when giving up felt easier than continuing. Days when survival mattered more than dreams. But something inside him refused to let go. Not ambition. Purpose. He did not dream of fame. He dreamed of dignity. Of proving that where you begin does not define where you belong. Years passed quietly. No headlines. No shortcuts. Just a voice shaped by hardship and humility. By the time he stepped onto the world's biggest stage, his song was already written by life itself. The world would hear him now. But the voice they were about to meet had been singing all along. The first note does not rush forward. It rises slowly, almost carefully, as if testing the space around it. The sound is gentle, yet it carries weight. Not the kind shaped by technique alone, but by memory. The singer stands still, grounded, letting the music move instead of his body. Each breath feels measured. Each note feels lived. The room begins to shift. Not loudly. Not suddenly. But deeply. What starts as curiosity becomes attention. What feels like attention turns into silence. The audience leans forward without realizing it. The air tightens, as if the room itself is listening. This voice does not chase perfection. It chases truth. The song unfolds like a journey. Through long nights, unanswered hopes, and quiet resilience. There is pain in it, but no bitterness. Strength, but no arrogance. The notes stretch higher now, carrying something familiar. Not imitation. Respect. The spirit of Elvis lives in the song, not as a shadow, but as an influence passed down with care. A legacy honored, not borrowed. Simon Cowell's expression changes slowly. Not with surprise. With recognition. This is not a contestant seeking approval. This is an artist sharing a piece of his soul. The voice grows fuller, stronger, yet never loses control. It does not overpower the room. It claims it. Time feels different here. Seconds stretch. Thoughts fade. The singer is no longer thinking about the judges. He is no longer thinking about the crowd. He is singing for every version of himself that almost gave up. The song reaches its final rise. Not dramatic. Not forced. Just honest. As the last note holds, steady and fearless. It feels like a promise fulfilled. In this moment, something shifts forever. Not just for the man on stage. But for everyone who believed that greatness could rise quietly. And still be heard across the world. The final note fades into the air, gentle and complete. It does not rush away. It lingers, as if the room is unwilling to let it go. Silence arrives first. Not the empty kind. The heavy kind that follows truth. No one moves. No one breathes deeply. The audience sits caught between emotion and disbelief. On the judge's table, time seems to pause. Simon Cowell remains still. His posture does not change. His eyes stay fixed on the stage. For a man known for instant opinions, this stillness feels louder than applause. This is not hesitation. This is impact. Years of experience have taught him how to recognize performance. But this was something else. This was honesty without armor. Talent without ego. The singer stands quietly, hands steady, heart racing beneath calm skin. He is not waiting for praise. He is waiting for meaning. In this moment, judgment dissolves. There is no comparison. No expectation. Only respect. Simon's expression softens, almost imperceptibly. Not as a judge. As a listener. It becomes clear that the song did more than impress. It reached something personal. Something remembered. Elvis is not present in name or image. He is present in spirit. In reverence. In restraint. The silence stretches further, refusing to break. And within it, a realization forms. Some voices do not compete with legends. They honor them. The audience feels it too. A shared understanding that this moment cannot be repeated. For the singer, something shifts inside. He no longer feels small. He no longer feels invisible. He feels seen. This pause, this frozen second, becomes the loudest applause he has ever received. Because when even Simon Cowell cannot speak, the music has already said everything. When the silence finally breaks, it does not shatter. It opens. Applause rises slowly, almost carefully, as if the audience is still holding the moment in their hands. What follows is not noise. It is release. The singer remains still, letting the sound wash over him. Not as validation. As closure. For years, his voice lived in small spaces. Narrow streets, quiet rooms, late nights filled with uncertainty. Now it fills a room that reaches millions more. Yet something has changed. This is no longer about a competition. The performance has already traveled farther than the stage. It has crossed oceans and borders, reaching homes where people watch with tired eyes and hopeful hearts. Some see themselves in him. Others see proof. Proof that greatness does not require permission. That beginnings do not limit endings. Elvis's legacy feels honored in this moment, not by imitation, but by respect. A voice from another time, carried forward by humility and care. Simon Cowell's frozen silence becomes a story of its own. A reminder that even the most experienced ears can still be moved. For the singer, pride does not arrive loudly. It arrives quietly. In the knowledge that he stayed true. He did not chase approval. He carried his story and laid it bare. Somewhere far away, a family watches with tears they do not hide. A country feels seen. A generation feels brave enough to try. This voice will fade from the speakers eventually. But its echo will remain. In courage. In belief. In the quiet understanding that one honest moment can change a life. The stage lights dim, but something brighter remains. Hope. And that hope, born from a single song, will continue to rise. Long after the applause ends.